All right, everybody. What's going on, everyone? Joey Gilbert here on post-election nonsense, and just thought I'd jump on here because right now I think everybody's a little concerned, a little worried. I was pretty confident last night that President Trump would have an easy victory, and here we are. The state of Nevada has yet to produce a result. And so I'd like to give a few seconds here for everybody to get on. I know there's tons of people at home. I know this because I've literally had hundreds of messages in Messenger and emails since I gave y'all my media at Joey Gilbert Law to jump on and say what's up and to contact with me with what you know is going down. And you know, everybody, this is no joke. That what you're seeing in front of us in this country right now, before our very eyes, is a coup, a soft coup, a color. You know, it's what's done in foreign countries, in the the Soviet bloc countries, the Eastern European countries. This is what the United States did when we wanted to get rid of a dictator or somebody we didn't like. And it's happening here in America, and it's disgusting. And isn't it crazy that all the states we were worried about, and the states Trump was leading by a lot, for the first time in our nation's history, stopped counting votes and started to shut down for the evening. Let's give everybody a little time to get on here. I need as many people on here tonight. If you've got some time, then you need to jump on here and you need to listen a little bit, because this is no joke. This is scary, and this is happening in America today. I never thought we'd be here tonight. I knew there was going to be some nonsense. I knew there was going to be some tomfoolery, some shenanigans, but I didn't think it would get this bad. And for those of you who haven't had a chance to catch up on really what's been going on, you know, some of this stuff, it's not even being printed in the papers, of course, because they don't want to share it. They're actually blocking it, which is just mind blowing when you think about it. But this is something I want to share with you guys that I got earlier today, sent to me, and it's just scary. So I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but in Nevada, for example, my home state, I'm embarrassed as a Nevada. I'm embarrassed, Governor Sisolak, at what you've done. I'm embarrassed at how you played this state and used us as part of your little game for whoever you sold out to, because that's the only way you can justify closing our businesses and stuffing in our homes with something that half the rest of the country is open and functioning fine. But we had the COVID crisis out here because you're a criminal. And so here, right here in Nevada, we have 1,277,000 registered voters. But we have projected vote totals of 1,593,143. That's 125% of voter turnout. That's unheard of, ever, in this state. So there's no games going on. Am I a conspiracy theorist? Am I still overreacting? Goddamn right I am. So here, Pennsylvania, registered voters, 6,469,000. Projected vote total, 7,041,672, with 109% voter turnout. It's never happened before. Minnesota, 3 million registered voters, 3,197,528 projected votes. That's 107% voter turnout. It's never happened before. North Carolina, 5,160,000 registered voters. Projected votes right now, 5,453,943, for a voter turnout of 106%. Wisconsin, 3,129,000 voters registered, and 3,283,532 projected votes, for 105% voter turnout. Again, It's never happened. Michigan, 5,453,000 registered voters, 5,716,581 votes. That's again 105% voter turnout. It's never happened before. Arizona, 3,262,000 registered voters. Voter turnout, 3,292,705 votes, with a 101% voter turnout. That's never happened. And finally, Georgia, 4,840,000 registered voters, 4,662,728 projected votes, 96% voter turnout. It's never happened. Okay, guys, and let me share something else with you. This isn't a guy that's sour, bitter Joe, I'm upset. No, every vote in this nation should be counted up until the point in time when the deadline hits and they're no longer allowed to be counted, because that's when cheating and fraud takes place. So, just so everyone sees that something fishy is going on, Fairfax, Virginia switched 100,000 votes from Trump to Biden, stating a clerical error. Wisconsin suddenly discovers over 112,000 Biden ballots between 3:30 a.m. and 4:30 a.m. when they were closed and no longer counting ballots. Wisconsin magically now has more votes than registered voters. Not just an angry Trump guy. Matter of fact, as you've probably noticed, those of us that voted for Donald Trump, even if things don't go 100% our way, you're not going to see us out breaking things and burning our city and looting or any of that nonsense. So let's just get that straight. They're not boarding up the buildings for Trump supporters. Yeah. Now, Nevada has decided they won't have a vote count until Thursday. This is in the public media, the embarrassing part about Nevada, Governor Sisolak, how you absolutely failed on every possible level as a leader in this state. You're a failure. You should resign in disgrace. Real talk. Now, Michigan has gained 138,339 ballots for Biden since they stopped counting last night. And out of those 138,339 ballots, there was not one ballot for Donald Trump. That is a statistical and mathematical impossibility. For you smart folks out there, any math majors, that is absolutely impossible that out of 138,339 ballots, that there was not one for Trump. That cannot happen. But it did in broad daylight. Because normally Republicans, if you weren't part of the new Trump Republican Party, would just take it. But that ain't going to happen this year. No way. Now, 6 states Trump had sizable leads in. All six states that Trump had sizable leads in decided to stop counting ballots on election night, which is unheard of and has never happened in our country before. Do you remember Aaron Ford down in Vegas? Said he was prepared to count ballots all night, and then Washoe called it and said they shut it down. So what happened? The state couldn't coordinate between its 2 most populous counties? Yeah, y'all need to resign, every single one of you in every position. Now, Jack from Twitter deletes the current sitting president's tweet on election night, glaringly obvious election interference, in which he was explaining to the American people what was happening, that we were up big in all the big states, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and he was pointing out that, and they censored his tweet. Big tech. Lee Joe, who is running for District 16 Senate seat in Idaho and stated so on his account profile, gets his account deleted from Facebook not once but twice. Another example of glaringly obvious election interference. North Carolina has 100% of its precincts counted with Trump in the clear, and it's not being called. I'm going to say that again. North Carolina had 100% of its precincts in and called and would not call, and Trump was ahead, and they would not call it for him, and they still have not called it for him. Unprecedented in our nation's history. And since all this started, the 6 states that all stopped counting, Trump has not gained a single vote. Guys, this is in states he was breaking on a 2-to-1 margin on. Do you understand what I'm talking about here? The president was breaking on a 2-to-1 margin in Pennsylvania when they stopped counting. Why would they have done that? If Joe Biden would have been ahead, do you think they would have stopped counting? Now, this is something, what's going on in Minnesota, Wisconsin, both had 89 to 90% turnout, something that is highly unlikely. And why is that? Well, here's the rest of the country, for example. There you can see Minnesota, Wisconsin. So Minnesota, 90% voter turnout. Wisconsin, 89%. That's never happened. Look at Florida. Look at Texas. Look at Georgia. Texas, 69%. Ohio, 71%. But in the states that Trump had to win the Electoral College, record voter turnout, such to the fact that there's more votes than registered voters. Guys, can you look at that again for me? I mean, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to be rude. Minnesota, 3,585,000. See that? Registered voters and votes, 3,226,000. 90%. We've never seen that before. And what I'm reading to you guys is updated from this, showing that there is now proven more votes than registered voters. So I don't know what anybody thinks about that, but it's bad. But let's keep talking. So now, Trump legal advisor Jenna Ellis discusses magical 138,000 Michigan Biden votes that appeared out of nowhere in the middle of the night. $138,339 votes appeared for Joe Biden out of thin air in Michigan, a state he was killing it in by two. Let me say the 2-to-1 margin thing because that's Pennsylvania's right there too. But let's just say he was winning Michigan like no Republican has in a very long time. Last night, President Trump was leading significantly in several key swing states, including Georgia, North Carolina, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. President Trump had a sizable lead in Wisconsin and Michigan, but this morning, Sleepy Joe somehow took the lead. Then all of a sudden, Joe Biden jumped up 138,339 votes and gained the lead over President Trump. Wow. Biden got 138,339 tranche of votes in Michigan without a single vote for Trump, in case you were wondering. That doesn't sound odd to everybody. And here we sit in the state of Nevada, the Ohio of the West, and we don't have a vote total. What do you think's happening, guys? Do you remember when we talked about that they were going to use election night as a base test to find out just how many of these mail-in ballots or ballots they had to produce from wherever they came from to get in? Does not anyone understand? They stopped counting in the 6 states that Trump was ahead in because he was ahead in such a huge manner that if they didn't shut down the count then, they would have never been able to. I mean, how are they going to wake up the next morning and say they found 400,000 Biden votes? No, they had to shut them down. They had to make Trump votes that were coming in disappear. It's all a game. Now, Tell me if this isn't odd. Detroit absentee ballot counting chaos, blocked windows and observers. They actually were holding up paper boards to prevent people from looking in the windows where they were counting. And again, guys, this all happened in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. This is where all the insanity is taking place, along with Arizona, where they were handing out Sharpies, right? Which don't record when they go through the machines. All right. And of course, our beloved Nevada, where our corrupt governor played his little game in July and ushered through the mail-in ballot nonsense. And now what's happening? Has Nevada ever experienced this problem before? No. They didn't have King Dingaling, King Sisolak, with his foot on the scale. So anything, as we know, anything Sisolak touches, he destroys. Anything Sisolak touches, he ruins. So of course he ruined the elections. Corruption rots from the top down. Yeah, you're damn right it does. Someone's got to do it. Someone's got to say it. Because if I don't say it, who's going to say it? This is corruption like we've never seen. And it's disgusting. And if Trump would have lost fair and square, you wouldn't have heard me say a damn thing besides what I said to our governor, Sisolak, when I saw him in the airport and I walked up and shook his hand and said, hey, governor, I'm not one of those, not my president, not my governor guys. You won. However I can help you, I'll help you. That's what I did. And like every Republican, after we win or lose an election, we go back to work, back to our families, back to doing what we do. We're going to go riot in the streets and break and burn shit. Yeah, man. Let me say this. So, let me see this. Let's see here. I don't want to get into this. This is just about Detroit. They can't get poll watchers in there. Some of the windows remain blocked off. I asked a few people who taped them up why. No clear answer. Few poll challengers tell us they feel there wasn't a fair number of Republicans, the Democrats in the room. I mean, the worker used large pieces of cardboard to cover up the windows, preventing those outside from seeing what was going on. Other workers used pizza boxes to block the door windows as some chanted, "Stop the vote," outside the venue. I mean, what is going on? I mean, this is unbelievable, guys. So just bear with me a second. I had so much stuff come in this last minute. So this is something that just came in from a friend, everybody. This is a friend who sent me this. He's got a buddy of his heavily involved in Republican politics. And first here's a newly printed article. Yes, Democrats are trying to steal the election in Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania, and Arizona and Nevada. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. We want to say that, wow, as reporters and commentators went to bed early Tuesday morning, all three states were too close to call. But President Trump led former Vice President Joe Biden by comfortable margins, far beyond what had been predicted in the polls, the never right polls, right? None of the networks called these states because enough mail-in ballots remained uncounted that it could swing either way. But Trump's position looked good. Then something strange happened in the dead of the night. In both Michigan and Wisconsin, vote dumps early Wednesday morning showed 100% of the vote going for Biden. And 0%, that's zero, not even one vote for Trump. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a statistical and mathematical impossibility. Do you understand that? Please use common sense. 138,339 votes were discovered in the dark of night, and not one was for Trump. Twitter was quick when a few pundits out there like Sean Davis noted this. Twitter was quick to censor his tweet, even though all he did was compare two sets of vote totals on the New York Times website. He wasn't the only one that noticed, although on Wednesday night it appeared that anyone who noted the Biden vote dump in Michigan was getting censored by Twitter, including the President of the United States. And this is the tweet that got censored. So while everyone was asleep and after everyone went home, Democrats in Michigan magically found a trove of 138,339 votes, and all of those 138,339 votes magically went to Biden. That doesn't look suspicious at all. Wow. But the social media giant has maintained its crackdown on sharing this information. Twitter users could not like or share the tweet from the Daily Wire's Matt Walsh, noting the 138,339 vote dump. I bet many of you didn't know that. You probably heard there was some nonsense in Detroit and in Michigan, but did you know that nearly 140,000 votes appeared between 3:30 a.m. and 4:30 a.m., all for Biden? Hocus pocus. It turns out the vote dump was a result of an alleged typo, an extra zero that had been tacked onto Biden's total in Shawassee County, Michigan. It seems the error was discovered only because Davis and other Twitter users noted how insane and suspicious the vote totals have looked and demanded an investigation that uncovered what was either a typo or an incredible clumsy attempt to boost Biden's vote count. There also was something suspicious about the vote reporting in Antrim County, Michigan, where Trump beat Hillary Clinton by 30 points in 2016. Initial vote totals showed Biden ahead of Trump by 29 points, a result that can't possibly be accurate, as plenty journalists noted. After the strange results caught national attention, election officials in Antrim, it's Antrim County, said they were investigating what they called skewed results, working with the company that provides their election software to see what went wrong. The county clerk said they plan to have an answer by Wednesday afternoon. Then another mysterious all-Biden vote dump happened in Wisconsin. Biden miraculously overcame a 4.1 point Trump lead in the middle of the night thanks to vote dumps in which he got, you guessed it, 100% of the votes, and Trump got 0. I mean, it's absolutely impossible for this to happen. Do you understand that, everyone? I hope everybody is sharing this. I hope you all like it. I hope you all comment on it. This is something that happens in countries in Latin America, countries in the Baltics, Eastern Europe, the Middle East, not America. On Wednesday, the Trump campaign demanded a full recount in Wisconsin, citing reports of irregularities in several Wisconsin counties, which raised serious doubts about the validity of the results. In Pennsylvania, the Democratic scheme to steal the election is a bit different. Rather than vote dumps that possibly go 100% to Biden, Pennsylvania is relying on the Democratic Secretary of State's plan to count indisputably late mail-in ballots as though they were received on Election Day, even if they have no postmark. This plan was, of course, rubber-stamped by the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, which cited the need for equitable relief to address mail delays amid the pandemic. The pandemic, folks, was never about protecting your lives. It was only about protecting the vote for the Democrats. All the games, all the special rules, all the everything was a result stemming from the pandemic. Did anybody ever wonder why we had not one, but 2 special sessions and our legislature never stepped in to address the pandemic? That's their job. That's actually the sole job of the legislature. Okay. Note that this isn't about ballots. This isn't just about ballots that come in after Election Day, but about ballots that come in after Election Day that don't even have a postmark. That is, there's no way to tell when the ballots were mailed or from where. Kind of an important thing, right? Although it's true that the long delays we've seen for absentee ballots counts are in due part to state laws in Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania that prohibit the counting of absentee ballots before Election Day, which is not the case in most other states, but the cumulative circumstances under which the absentee ballots are now being tallied is highly, highly suspicious. Unless election officials in Michigan and Wisconsin explain the overnight vote dumps in Michigan, the typo that appeared to benefit Biden, and Pennsylvania officials can explain their rationale for counting ballots with no postmark, the only possible conclusion one can come to right now is that Democrats are trying to steal the election in the Midwest. And they're trying to do it here in Nevada. Now, from a friend. Statement from the Trump camp as of 11/4 at 6:55 p.m. Let me make something clear. No one is trying to undo the just results of a fair and impartial election, regardless of the winner. Neither would I. It's a fact. However, this is not simply about every vote being counted. While that makes for a great soundbite, my friends, this is about how those votes were securely received, chain of custody, how they were stored, how they were counted, whether signatures should match or postmarks should be legible. Our legal team is fighting to assure that all legal ballots and only the legal ballots are tallied. And if we count all legal ballots, President Trump wins. Period. But these are not determinations to be made by the state, but rather by the court. Full stop. Because here's where we stand. Arizona. Facebook and Twitter have rightly removed Arizona from Biden's electorate column on their official election map, and CNN actually never called it. Only Fox News did. Countless heavy Republican remain in play and will break in Trump's favor. Maricopa County overnight was a pickup of plus 50,000 votes for Trump. Biden is now leading with 90K ballots or 90K votes, but there's still 500,000 plus ballots to be counted. Wow. They expect to win 70% of those ballots. Anybody want to do the math on 520,000 and what 70% of that is? Yeah. We were confident we will win Arizona. I am confident too. Georgia. President Trump has built an insurmountable lead over the Democrats of more than 100,000 votes. They cannot beat that. Georgia is a wrap. The fact that they haven't counted it yet is corrupt and disgusting. North Carolina, another place President Trump has built an insurmountable lead of 76,000 votes. The Democrats cannot beat these, period. They know that. That's why they're just hanging there. They're all trying to see how Nevada, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin. Disgusting, Governor Sisolak. Disgusting what you're doing. You sold out to the DNC. Our state is a war zone because of it. Las Vegas Boulevard is an exact example of your failed leadership and you selling out to the DNC. President Trump has formally petitioned for a state recount as the current results fall within 1% legal margin of error. This is for Wisconsin. Several outlying counties are leaning heavily Republican, including Kenosha, Green Bay, Pierce, and Richland. And let me say this. There are so many articles now that I have found that are mind-blowing on what's happening in what happened, in Wisconsin. I wish I had it right here. In Wisconsin, there are counties where President Trump got 7 votes, to 1,000, to 3,000. Counties where Hillary Clinton got 1,800 votes and Joe Biden got 3,600 votes. Are you trying to tell me with a straight face, any Democrat out there, that Joe Biden is more popular than Hillary Clinton or more popular than President Obama? And I was no Obama guy, but there ain't no way Joe Biden got more votes than Barack Obama. It's not possible. No one likes Joe Biden. You don't even know who Joe Biden is. He doesn't even know who he is or where he is or what he's running for. And you're trying to tell me he got more votes than President Barack Obama. That is so out of touch. Let me see if I can find this real quick because it was an article that was. Just bear with me here. This thing was mind blowing. I couldn't even believe that I was. I mean, honestly, it's hard to. Let's see if I can find this. This stuff was, guys. This is talking about the aldermans in Wisconsin and the fact that they had first time ever that they had the kind of voting that they've had in these Wisconsin counties where, like I said, historic vote records, historic where in counties where Hillary Clinton won by 2,000 votes, Biden won by 4,000, where Obama won by, 2,900 votes, Biden won by almost 4,000 votes. It's not possible. The guy is a dud. Like dud. Do you really think? Listen, I got friends in the black community. I got half my staff, half my clients, majority of my business partners and friends are Hispanic. They didn't vote for Biden. All right? And they're showing record voting? I mean, this is insane. I got to find this because it's just going to drive me crazy. I got to read it to you. I mean, there really is so much nonsense going on out there. Let me find this. Oh, the Arizona Secretary of State says that she doesn't think there's a legal pathway for Trump. Because we really care what she has to say. So, anyway, I don't think I'm going to find it. But what I want some of you guys to do is to go out there and do some of this research yourself. Let's see if I can pull this up. Oh yeah, that we already talked about that. Here, guys. Between 3:30 a.m. and 4:30 a.m., they found 140,000 mail-in ballots for Biden. Between 3:30 a.m. and 5 a.m., they found 200,000 mail-in ballots for Biden in Michigan. And between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m., they found over 1 million mail-in ballots in Pennsylvania. And here's the best part. All for Biden, none for Trump. That just doesn't seem right to me, guys. Does that seem right to you? Does anybody really believe? Okay, hold on a second. Yeah, here they go. Here's people saying that there's just no way that Wisconsin had. Trump won Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin by a combined 77,744 votes in 2016. Hold on. Okay. The Wisconsin, here we go. Refused to explain sudden Biden vote. All right, so here we are. So in some of these counties in and around Milwaukee, they're not giving me the numbers. Again, like I said, guys, vote totals that exceeded President Obama for Joe Biden in Wisconsin. Vote totals that exceeded President Obama for Joe Biden in Michigan. Vote totals that exceeded President Barack Obama for Joe Biden in Pennsylvania. It did not happen. It cannot happen. So, let me say this. Michigan, President Trump believes we will win this state outright, as several outlying GOP counties have yet to be counted, and they will sue to stop any declaration of a winner until they are duly amended. Pennsylvania, still with their insanity of their mail-in ballots, Trump is up in Pennsylvania by nearly 700,000 votes. Do you think that's maybe why 1 million votes pop in out of thin air? Because I do. I absolutely do. And here we go. We'll get to that in a second. Here we go. 1.5 million mail-in ballots remain outstanding, along with 5 heavily leaning Republican counties in Pennsylvania. Even if 95% of the mail-in ballots go to Biden, Trump still wins the state of Pennsylvania by over 40,000 votes. Did you just hear what I said? Trump's going to get Pennsylvania. Even there's 1.5 million mail-in ballots remaining outstanding in Pennsylvania, along with 5 heavily leaning Republican counties. But even if Joe Biden gets 95% of the mail-in ballots, which you know he's going to get, Trump still wins the state by over 40,000 votes. The campaign will be making a public statement about evidence of ballot fraud shortly. Late breaking in Nevada. Oh, Nevada. Oh, Sisolak, my bud, my dude, right? Dud, dude. Late breaking mail gets Trump a win by a margin of over 5,500 votes. Lastly, anyone who thinks that a 270 electoral college declaration in the next 24 hours by the mainstream media for a specific candidate to deliberately sway public opinion is going to derail our determination to protect the legal integrity of this election or deter us from its ultimate victory is not only naive but hypocritical. After all, we are still waiting for a peaceful transition of power from 2016. Today's actions are not only within the president's legal rights, they are his responsibility. Responsabilidad. You hear me? Here we go. So this is the thing I showed you before. 7 Milwaukee wards. 7 Milwaukee. If you guys ever remember the old movie, anyway, Wayne's World. 7 Milwaukee wards report more presidential voters than registered voters. State voter turnout is nearly 90%, which is virtually impossible. The two states also had anomalously high turnout relative to the previous 4 presidential election cycles. That's highly suspect. Again, guys, in the 3 states the president was leading by wide margins, they decided to stop counting presidential votes for the first time in our nation's history. And then out of thin air, hundreds of thousands of mail-in votes appeared, but only for Joe Biden. Yeah. And even with the high turnout trick, Democrats are only 200,000 votes ahead of Donald Trump. President Trump had a historic night, and the criminal left stole it from him, and they were brazen about it. They are the new mafia. So, isn't this amazing? In both Minnesota and Wisconsin in 2020, they had 90% record turnout, 90% turnout in Minnesota, and in Wisconsin they had 89%. But in 2016, Minnesota had 75% turnout, and Wisconsin had 67% turnout in 2016, and Trump still won. In 2012, Minnesota had 76, and Wisconsin had 70. 2008, Minnesota had 78. 2004, Minnesota had 79. Wisconsin in 2008 had 69. And in 2004, they had 73%. So based on my quick math here, Wisconsin's never gone above 73 or 75%. Last night, they had 89%. Minnesota looks like it's never really gone above 80%. Last night, they had 90%. Record turnout. That sure is odd. Let's see if we can find anything else here. Wow, this is interesting. So here we go. This is what I was talking about. Yes, analysis. 7 Milwaukee wards report more 220 presidential voters than registered voters. Biden nets 146,000 votes in the city. How did he do that? Vice President Joe Biden carried the 5 in 2020, these 5 counties. 5 of them are in the city's 11th Aldermic Ward on the city's far southwest side. Now, for some of you got to understand something. I got friends. I got friends in these communities. And let me say this. They didn't all vote for Joe Biden. Many of them did not vote for Joe Biden. My barber told me the hood was going for Trump. They had it. They've had it. So let me say this. Vice President Joe Biden carried the 5 in 2020 with 3,768 votes to President Donald Trump's 2,883, a margin of 885, or 8 times what it was in 2016. When Trump earned 1,904 votes to Hillary Clinton's 2012 votes. So you're telling me in the same ward where Hillary Clinton got 2,012 votes, Joe Biden got 3,768 votes? Nah. The city of Milwaukee reported record turnout of 84% Tuesday, with 243,144 of 288,833 registered voters casting a ballot. Biden defeated Trump in Milwaukee 195,034 to 48,000, a margin of 145,916. He won 80% of the city's total vote. That is insane. It did not happen. In 2016, voter turnout was 75%. That's 588 to 10. Biden ran up the gaudy margins in many Milwaukee voting wards. He won 588 votes to Trump's 10 in the 107th voting ward located in the city's Franklin Heights neighborhood. Its other two voting wards voted 411 to 14. Does anybody really think only 14 people voted for President Trump in those places? Do you really believe that? And 968 to 33 for Biden, a grand total of 197.67 to 57. In the 114th voting district in Lindsay Heights on the city's near northwest side, Biden defeated Trump 334 to 6 votes. Total six votes. In the 117th in Borchert Field, Biden won 465 votes to 9. Yeah, to 9 votes. They expect you to believe this. Trump received 15 or fewer votes in 16 Milwaukee voting wards, including a total 7,389 registered voters. Biden defeated him 5,217 to 151 in them. Trump won 9 of the 327 Milwaukee voting wards in his inaugural presidential one. Clinton won the other 318. Trump only won 4 Milwaukee voting wards in 2020 to Biden's 323. So you're telling me by this that Joe Biden outperformed Hillary Clinton. Wisconsin is one of 21 states that allow for same-day voter registration at the polls. The city's Democratic Party chair is Chris Walton. So, again, guys, this is borderline insanity. Let's see, I got a few people here. Yeah, I already got that. I already got that tone. I'm already reading it. I already read it. And so, I have to say this. Hold on, man. I'm reading your guys' text. Some of you guys are just texting me right now. Yeah, absolutely. What they're doing is absolutely disingenuous. Guys, here's where we're at. My messenger is filled with people that have checked their voting in this state. And this is what I need you to do. This is what we're going to need to do. You're going to need to get on the Secretary of State page. You're also going to need to get on that voter tracks, that ballot tracks, BALLOTTRAX. And again, go on my Facebook page, go to one of these previous posts from today. You'll see I put both of them up there, and check your ballot. Take a screenshot of it, put it in an email to media@joeygilbertlaw.com, put in the subject heading, my vote didn't count, my vote dispute, voter, whatever you want to put. This is what I'm being told to do by the legal teams in the state that are working for Trump. I am also a Trump attorney. And I am being told to take a picture, to document it, send that along with your name, obviously, and a phone number would be great to get a hold of you, and email it to media@joeygilbertlaw.com. And I am going to personally move staff and move resources to this initiative, this coalition, to start making sure all Nevadans' votes are counted. And if at the end of the day, we lose this state fair and square, hey, that's how it goes. That's the way it goes. But something doesn't smell right. Something really smells bad out here. And I don't like it. And if I don't stand up for you, and I don't stand up for this state and for Nevadans, who's going to do it? Right? Who's going to do it? So listen, I could sit here and go through Twitter and go through some of these other things that I'm reading about. But the bottom line is, we all know that there is absolute voter fraud taking place in this country. We know what's happening, and we cannot just stand by. It's not possible. So what I'm going to ask everybody to do is this. We need to bring attention to this. Right? They're going to shut us down on social media. They're shutting us down already. But you need to share it and you need to spread it. This is not fair. This is not how America works. Just because you don't like the president doesn't mean you get to cheat to remove him. That's not how it works. Work hard and beat him. But you didn't. So you're going to lose. And at the end of the day, when the smoke clears, Donald J. Trump is going to be president still for another 4 years. So get pissed off if you want to. But this should never go down like this in our country. It should have never happened. And I'm just going to say this again. I am going through every bit of information I can find as social media suppresses it. And I am being told that if you believe your vote was not counted, if you believe after you get on the Secretary of State page and after you get on that ballot tracks and you see that your vote was not counted, then you have to, it is your responsibility, all right, it is your duty to make sure you get that to the campaign. You get it to me and I'll get it to the campaign. How's that? You get it to me, I will take it from there. Everybody's got a smartphone. Everybody's got a computer, or their kid's got a computer or a laptop or an iPad. Get on there, check it, take a picture of it, send it to me. If I have to hire additional staff to process these requests, you know damn well I'll do it. All right, you know I'll do it. So, bottom line is this. We are facing an unprecedented action in our country's history. It is a soft coup. You could call them deep state, you can call them bureaucrats, you can call them the peoples whose pockets have been lined by their time in government and by their positions and them just simply not wanting to lose the golden trough. That's what it is. That's what government is to some of these people. An unlimited credit card, all right, on you, the American taxpayer. That's what they use you for, their little piggy bank. And it's time to say no, and enough is enough. For years, Republicans have heard, I've heard for years, about how they used to bus folks in from Barstow and other parts of California. You guys know it. You know damn well what I'm talking about. Don't even try to pretend you don't. They've been busing people in from California for years. How do I know that? Because my tailor used to know the bus drivers down in Vegas. Used to tell me about it. They used to bus them in, and we did nothing. And now you finally got a president that ain't going to do nothing. He's going to do something. And it's going to be the most unprecedented mobilization of lawyers and independent witnesses and advisors that we've ever seen to get this stuff knocked off. Thank you. We got people, Nicole Gilbert. Nicole Gilbert. Hey, I know that name. She just posted something in the comments on this live. Go on the Secretary of State website. Go and track your vote and find out where it is. Take a picture of that vote. And again, I'm a lawyer. I'm an attorney. I'm not going to do anything with your information. You can send me anything I need to make sure you're identified. And I will make sure it is safeguarded and properly stored, or whatever we do with it, and then shredded. And I will make sure nothing bad happens to your information. And let me tell you something. I know you trust me over these complete, incompetent, and inept people. You know that. I hope you all know that. I know I've earned your trust. If nothing else, you might not like me. You might not agree with my politics. You might hate Donald Trump. But I know I've earned a lot of your respect because I'm not up here for any other reason but the truth. And the truth is, this is not what happens in America. The truth is, this is what happens in foreign countries with dictators and tyrants and news media that's been bought and paid for. And it's being controlled by 4 or 5 corporations. And that's what's happening here in America today. You can't get the real news on the TV right now. That should scare everybody in this country. And let me tell you something. Call it right wing, call whatever you want. You're going to have to go to other sources. You might not like One American News because they got goofy stuff and the commercials aren't the best, but they got honest and fair fact reporting, not one-sided. Okay? Do your research and get motivated, mobilized, get organized. And I'll say something else. There's talk on the street that there's going to be some kind of a little rally, a little protest where you guys are going to come out. Nevada, Reno's been marked. You're going to come out and hurt businesses and get violent. And I'm just going to tell you, it's not a good idea. What happened back here in May to our public buildings and to our businesses and to our police department and our law enforcement officers will not be tolerated this time. Not at all, not even a little bit. So, to those of you monitoring my social media, and I know you are, and I get your little threatening messages, and you send me a message in Messenger, and you threaten me and my family, and I know you're just a tough guy behind a keyboard, because I'll tell you right now, you wouldn't say it to my face. You wouldn't. You wouldn't dare come up and say it to my face. So, that's how I know who you are. But I'm going to say this again. Do not come into downtown Reno and mess with our businesses and mess with our public buildings. Don't touch our courthouse. Don't touch our city hall. Don't touch our federal courthouse, or you will not like the repercussions. Because for every action, there's an equal or greater reaction. And this time, Northern Nevadans, patriots, both sides of the aisle, Democrat, Republican, Independent, we're ready. And we're not putting up with it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to end this, but I need to say this one more time. What has happened in this country is a disgrace. What is happening across this country in Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Georgia, North Carolina, Nevada, and Arizona is disgusting. It should have never happened. This is the silver state. Our vote total should have been in last night by midnight, and here we are 24 hours later, and they're telling us tomorrow. It's disgusting. It's disgraceful. It's embarrassing. I am embarrassed for this state. I am embarrassed for this state's leadership. All of you. This is an embarrassment, and there's no other way to say it but that this was done by design. They ushered this through in the dark of night back in July. We knew that something bad was going to happen, and it's happened. And we've had 2 special sessions throughout all this time. And in any of those special sessions, did we address the coronavirus? Do we address the insane toll and repercussions these lockdowns were having on our business, our schools, our children? Did the legislature, which is specifically tasked, their duty, did you guys think maybe you should have got involved in the coronavirus response with school right around the corner in July? August, we're starting high school sports and practices, and you geniuses didn't think you should have taken up the coronavirus? Maybe we should have looked at some other states that weren't shut down or that were our same population or our same, size and mirrored them. It could have had a debate, could have had a hearing, could have presented evidence. Joey Gilbert could have showed up with his epidemiologists and his doctors and some scientists, and we could have had a good old spirited American debate and not a closed 2 a.m. session where you shove something down our throat to affect us for the rest of our lives and to affect our children's lives and our seniors' lives. You didn't do that, did you? That's what that, my friends, is going to be a mistake Governor Sisolak thinks back on and wishes he would have done something different on. That much I can promise you. So now, I'm going to close, guys, with this. Keep the faith. Keep your poise. If you're a supporter of President Donald J. Trump, you are called to duty now. Get on your social media. Get on your telephones. Those of you that got some bucks, all right, stop being cheap. There's probably cobwebs on your wallet. I know a lot of you Republicans. You're cheap. Give. Give to these legal efforts. Open up your wallets. Stop worrying about only yourself and give. Reach down deep. And I ain't talking to the majority of you guys that are the only ones giving time after time. I'm talking about you cobweb having wallet and purse guys and gals. And I'm telling you right now, find a lawyers group that's fighting this and donate to them. Give to President Trump right now, to this legal cause, and let's go win this thing. Because it's called lawfare. And no one's better at it than the Democrats. I got to hand it to them. They are always the best organized. They always have the best lawyers. They have the best game plan. And they stick together. Republicans are arguing about nonsense, and the Democrats are street fighting and beating your butts every time because you're afraid. You're cowards. Get loud. Get angry. Get in these comments. Get on the horn. Start making this well known that we know it, that we're not going to stand for it. Stop the steal. Start putting in hashtags. Start calling your friends. Start calling your family. Get down to your state capital here in Nevada, down in Las Vegas, where they're counting and they're having these little protests. Get down there and support them. Get down to the state capitol in Arizona, the state capitol in Michigan, the state capitol in Wisconsin, the state capitol in Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia. Go. Go now. And this is just to show a presence. There's no violence involved. There's no need to have any violence involved. Presence, strength in numbers. And again, I will finish with this. I have had so many people sending me a picture of their voting. And I'm going to ask everybody that voted in Nevada or didn't vote. Let me take a step back, guys. I have been contacted by numerous people in rural counties that did not vote. And when they went and checked their vote, they voted in early voting. How could that be? They didn't vote. They didn't early vote. But it's showing on the Secretary of State that they voted. I bet you if they look into that a little further, they're going to find out that unknowingly they voted for Joe Biden. So, does not matter if you voted for Donald Trump or not. If you support this president or you support a free and untampered with, uncorrupt election process, please go on the site, the website, in my comments and check your ballot. And after you check your ballot, if your ballot information is wrong or it shows that you did not vote, you did vote, I want to see a picture of that with your phone number, with your contact information. All right. If you want to give me your driver's license number and your zip code, that would probably just save a phone call, but do whatever you want to do. Obviously, as a lawyer and officer of the court, I could not use your information for anything bad. If you want to send it to me, send it to me. I'll make sure it gets cross-referenced with the campaign. But please, media@joeygilbertlaw.com. Media@joeygilbertlaw.com. Take your cell phone, your smartphone, pull it up on the website. Take a picture of it. All right. If you want to really make it super efficient, take a picture of your driver's license for me, include your phone number, and send it to me with ballot problem, voter fraud, whatever it is. In the subject line, tell me what it is. And in the contents, body of the email, give me your information and the picture of your vote status. I'm going to ask everybody to do this. And I'm going to promise you that I will use my own resources and hire additional resources if necessary to process these emails to get them to the campaign, because we are not going down without a fight. We are going down swinging. We are going to take this to the very end. And ladies and gentlemen of Nevada, stand up for your rights. Stand up for this country. Stand up for a free election process. This is America. This should have never happened, and this can never happen again. I'm going to sign off for right now. We've had an amazing following tonight. Donald Trump is still your president and will remain your president come January 21st. You can take that to the bank. Do not hang your heads. I have been in a little bit of a funk today, but after reading some information from the president and some of the back channels I've talked to, there is hope. It is not over yet. It'll only be over if we go away. They want us to go away. They are trying to flood the airways and the fake news media with a bunch of garbage to show that Biden is going to win this, but he's not. Because let me say this last thing, guys. Let me say this last thing. If Biden had the numbers, they would have called this a long time ago. Let me say that one more time. If Biden had a chance to win in the states that they had to go dump the hundreds of thousands of votes in, they would have called it. But they didn't call it. And they still haven't called it. And that, my friends, tells me this is still not over by any means. Not by a long shot. There she is again, Nicole Gilbert. Look for her in my comment section. Go on that website. Check for your vote. Check for, if you did not vote, go check and see if you got a vote in there now. And if you did vote, go and check. And this is for everyone. Everyone that voted for Donald J. Trump. I find it hard to believe that Mark Amodei, God love him, got nothing wrong with Mark Amodei, got more votes than President Donald J. Trump in this state. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. Not for a second. Not for a second. Ladies and gentlemen, don't let them steal this election. This is Joey Gilbert. You know how to get a hold of me, and you know I will do everything I can in my power to take your information to the campaign. All right? I will do it. Put your trust in me, and I will help. And you know what? Hey, guys, don't let these people with the throw up or the Biden stuff, don't let them do their thing. They're trolls. They're trolls. They're purposely trying to get you going. Let them get going. You know what you do? Send Trump $10. Send them $25. Send them $5. I don't care. Speak with your wallet, your social media, and your voices. Send the president $10. Send him $100. Send him $10,000 if you got it. And let's fight fire with fire. This is Joey Gilbert signing off. I love you all. God bless you, Nevada. I am so sorry this happened to us. I am so disgusted this happened to us. I wasn't expecting this. I wasn't expecting our own state to be part of this nonsense and part of the game, but it happened. And we're going to fix it. We're going to fix it. Nevada, keep the faith. Stop the steal. I love you. God bless you. Media at joeygilbertlaw.com. That's MEDIA. Media at joeygilbertlaw.com. Get me your information. I'll take care of the rest. Thank you. Be safe and God bless.